If you are having difficulty with morning pain and stiffness, this is the video for you. I recently received this comment and I wanted to make a video just in case you are experiencing difficulties with morning pain and stiffness. As a physical therapist, I want you to know it is possible to reduce that morning stiffness and pain. Take it from members of Adventurers for Life, my arthritis workout membership. They have been able to see results both reducing morning achiness and stiffness, especially if you're feeling like you're hobbling in the morning, dreading going up or downstairs, and just having difficulty completing your morning routine. This video is for you. We're going to go through my top 10 strategies to help reduce both morning pain and stiffness. Let's get started. For strategy number 1, focus on range of motion. This is particularly helpful if you have knee or hip osteoarthritis. In both of these joints, you may start to lose range of motion or lose mobility, not being able to fully straighten or bend your knee, not being able to move your hip in certain ways. When you are limited in range of motion, you are also limited in range of motion when you're sleeping. If your joint can only move through a certain range of motion, it's likely going to be stuck in that limited range all night long. If you're able to stretch out your leg and move your joints easily through different planes of motion, it can be incredibly helpful when switching positions at night. During the day, choose 1 or 2 movements that help to address the mobility that you're having difficulty with. For strategy number 2, make sure you are relaxed before you head to bed. There are a lot of different strategies on how to induce relaxation. If you go to bed tense and tight, you increase the odds of waking up like that, with increased stiffness. A couple of ways that you can induce relaxation is to take a hot shower or a hot bath. You can also use a heating pad. Heat can be a great way to allow your muscles to relax and release some of that tension. If you have hand osteoarthritis or hand pain in general, running your hands under hot water can also be effective at night or in the morning. You can also read a lighthearted book, a book that is not stressful. Many people like to meditate right before bed, allowing your body to relax and release tension from the day. Whichever strategy you choose, the more relaxed you go to bed, the better your chances are of waking up with reduced pain and stiffness. Strategy number 3 involves controlling joint swelling throughout the day. Typically, joints can swell because of overactivity, increased irritation, increased pain, and lack of movement. The more swelling you have in your joints, the more limitations you will have in your mobility. This can then increase your chances of waking up stiffer. You can control swelling through a few different ways. First, you can complete frequent and gentle movement. Movement is going to help to move that fluid that may be collecting inside of the joint. You can also use compression, like a knee compression sleeve, a hand compression sleeve. Compression can help to reduce the amount of area that swelling's allowed to get in. You can also use self-massage, gently rubbing the swollen joint to help move that fluid out. Focusing on reducing your swelling during the day can help you sleep better at night and wake up feeling limber. Strategy number 4 is looking at activity levels throughout the day and finding a balance. This one can be a bit tricky. When you're doing more activity than you typically do, you may wake up stiffer. On the other hand, if you are sedentary throughout the day, you don't get very much movement compared to what you usually do, and you find yourself being in the same position for prolonged periods of time, that can actually increase your stiffness in the morning. If you wake up and you are feeling stiffer than usual, ask yourself, if and how did my activity change? Did you do more? Did you do less? This can be a great way to help plan the next day. If you did way too much and wake up stiff, reduce your activity throughout the day or take more breaks in between. On the other hand, incorporating more frequent movement throughout the day can be helpful. The best way is to find balance. Sometimes it takes a bit of trial and error, but when you can find that balance, you can feel much better in the morning. Strategy number 5 involves sleeping positions. You can use a variety of pillows to help support your joints throughout the night. If you are dealing with knee or hip arthritis, one of my favorite strategies is putting a pillow between your knees. This will help to keep your hips and knees supported. You can use just a regular pillow, making sure it is thick enough where it's not going to be super flat, and you can put it right between your knees. This allows your knee to stay in a great position as well as your hip, but also the muscles, especially up in the hip. Without it, this leg drapes down a bit more and can lead to some knee pain, hip pain, and these muscles can become irritated as they are constantly on stretch. You can also use a body pillow or a longer pillow like this. The reason I like this one is because you can use it to support that leg, but you can also use it to support your shoulder. So if you're experiencing shoulder pain when sleeping, this can be a great way to support it. If you are dealing with neck pain, neck stiffness, it can be a little bit trial and error when it comes to what pillow feels good. Some people like a lot of support. Others like really flat pillows. If you keep experiencing neck stiffness when you wake up, it may be time for a pillow change. You also want to make sure that your joints have freedom to move. If you are sleeping on a couch or in a recliner, you're likely limited into the positions you can get into. So, odds are you're going to stay in one position for a longer period of time. This can lead to increased stiffness in the morning. Making sure your legs are free to stretch out, making sure that you can change positions throughout the night. Both of these can also help to reduce stiffness in the morning. Strategy number 6 involves food. The foods you eat can impact your joint stiffness. Foods like fruits, vegetables, lean protein, those anti-inflammatory foods can be a great way to help reduce joint stiffness. If you find yourself eating foods that you know probably aren't good for you, that have a lot of added sugar, high fructose corn syrup, have trans fat or saturated fat, those foods can actually make your joints angry, leading to more stiffness in the morning. If you do wake up with more stiffness than usual, thinking about the foods you ate the day previous may give some insight as to why you're dealing with that stiffness. If you start to add something consistently to your diet and then start to also consistently see joint stiffness, there can be a correlation there. So don't forget to look at the foods you're eating. Strategy number 7 involves morning movement. Running through a few simple movements in the morning, targeting the areas that typically feel stiff, can help to quickly relieve that stiffness and help with the first few steps. I know doing exercises right before you get out of bed might not always be feasible, especially if you have to get up and go to the bathroom. When you get back, that's a great time to incorporate those movements before you get up and run through your daily routine. All it takes is 1 to maybe 3 exercises to get that blood flowing, loosen up those muscles, and get your body ready for the day. Strategy number 8 involves getting stronger. This one tends to take a little longer, but it's where the magic happens. So many members inside of Adventures for Life, my arthritis workout program, have been able to see significant results both in their sleep quality at night and reducing their achiness in the morning. One big variable they've all changed is adding in the right strengthening movements. Movements that help to challenge the joints, but also make them feel good. Ideally, aiming for working on strengthening at least 2 or 3 times per week can be a great place to start for most. Adding in purposeful exercises that help to strengthen not only the problem area, but the entire body can make a huge difference in how you feel when you wake up in the morning. Now, if you are regularly strength training and still waking up with a lot of stiffness, it may be time to mix up the routine. Add in some different variations to challenge the joints in new ways. If you're not sure where to start when it comes to strengthening your joints, Adventures for Life is a great place for you to start. For strategy number 9 in reducing morning pain and stiffness, give yourself a chance to get a good night's sleep. Sleep is a vital time that your body needs to rest and recover. Poor sleep can lead to impaired recovery, increased stiffness, and higher pain sensitivity the next day. Allowing your body to get 7 to 8 hours is a great goal to achieve. If you find yourself staying up late, watching TV, using your phone, and not even allowing your body to get that 7 to 8 hours, it can impair how you feel the next day. Set your body up for success and be purposeful in the amount of time you are allowing your body to rest. The final strategy. This one can be one of the most effective immediately, and that is including gentle movements right before you try to go to sleep. These can be lying down in bed, these can be sitting at the edge of the bed, or even simply standing, depending on what feels best to you. The key is gentle movement. We're not looking for anything too intense here. It's important to move in ways that feel good. We're not trying to make anything angry. One of my favorite go-tos for hip or knee arthritis is simply sliding your leg up and then back down. You can kick your leg out on the side of the bed. You can slide your leg out to the side and bring it back in to work the hips. You can focus on pressing your knees down into the bed, activating those thigh muscles. There are lots of different options here. And as you're going through different workout videos, pick out the exercises that feel gentle and feel really good to you, as these exercises are going to vary between people. Usually these can be exercises used in warm-ups or cool downs. Take those movements, 1 or 2, and do maybe 8 to 15 repetitions depending on what the movement is before bed. It doesn't need to be a long routine, and you don't have to do a ton of repetitions. You're just trying to limber up those joints to then hopefully carry over into the morning. The idea isn't to try to incorporate all 10 of these strategies right now. Choose the ones that feel the most pertinent to you, the ones that you said, wow, I do that, or wow, that makes a lot of sense. Use those as a kicking off point to help reduce your morning pain and stiffness. Consistency is key, and consistency is the best way to see results. If you did want some help on exercises that can help the knees, you can head to this video. If you'd like exercises that can help the hips, you can head to this video. If you'd like access to other arthritis tips and tricks delivered to your email every week, you can sign up for our free arthritis newsletter. In there, you'll learn tips on how to reduce joint stiffness, joint pain, and how to make your adventures come to life. Commit to yourself to starting today on reducing your morning pain and stiffness so you can hop right out of bed.